Welcome to Eagle Eye TV's March Madness bracket. This year, we're going to break down all of the biggest games from this year's tournament. We're going to look at the biggest surprises, potentially the biggest upsets, and so much more. Stay right here, and we'll see you right after the intro. Welcome back. We're going to look at each one of these games in this tournament. We're going to start with the first 4 games in the West region, and then we're going to break it down as this tournament moves along. So what we're going to do is we're going to go one by one and pick our games from this bracket. So we're going to start with Colin with the Gonzaga versus Georgia State game. Obviously, the Gonzaga, the number 1 overall seed in the tournament.
So naturally I'm going to take Gonzaga, 1 seed at 16, number 1 seed of the tournament. They're moving on.
All right. Colin, I'll let you do the Boise State versus Memphis game.
Boise State?
Or Zach, and then Zach.
Zach. Okay, Zach can have it.
All right, so in the Boise State-Memphis game, I'm going to take Memphis.
All right. I know I would have chose Boise State in that game, but that's all right.
You'd have been wrong.
I would have been wrong, I guess. I'm going to go with Connecticut for the Connecticut versus New Mexico State game. I think Connecticut is going to be just too much for New Mexico State. Once again, it is a 12-5 seed game. Those are one of the most upset-ridden matchups in the tournament, but I will be going with the 5 seed in this one. Take Arkansas.
And then I think this is probably the best first-round game in this side of the bracket, but I will take Arkansas here. I think Vermont keeps it close. I think they shoot the 3-ball very well, but Arkansas will just overpower them.
All right. You want to stay here, or do you want to move on to the bottom?
We stay here.
All right, we'll go through all of this up to the Sweet 16. I'll let you choose the first Elite 8 matchup between Gonzaga and Memphis.
All right, yeah, I'm going to go with the number 1 overall seed, Gonzaga. No shock there. I think Chet and company are just too good.
All right, I guess that leaves me with the 5 seed versus the 4 seed. This is definitely one of the best rounds of the round of one of the best games of the round of 32 with 5 seed Connecticut, 4 seed Arkansas. Arkansas, a very hot team right now. So is Connecticut, but I have Connecticut moving on. I'm not trying to let my SEC bias show, but I just think Connecticut is a better ball club. All right, and then we'll let you pick this game.
I'll have Gonzaga and UConn. I'll take Gonzaga here. I think this is Gonzaga's best chance to get upset early in the tournament. But I think they get past UConn.
All right. We're going to slide down to the second half of this region with the 4 games between Alabama, Notre Dame, Texas Tech, Montana State, Michigan State, Davidson, Duke, and CSU Fullerton. I'll let you choose the first one, Zach. You'll go with Alabama and Notre Dame.
Yeah, so Notre Dame just played in one of the first 4 games last night, and it was a great game against Rutgers. Went to, double overtime?
Yeah, it did.
Watching that game, I was confident in either Rutgers or Notre Dame beforehand, but after it, I'm going to go with Alabama to get the win.
All right. I would have gone with Notre Dame. I think Alabama's too erratic of a ball club, but you win this round, I
think I agree with Zach. They just didn't play well last night.
All right, okay. I'll go with the Texas Tech Montana State game. You know, I'm a big fan of those Bobcats of Montana State, the Big West, the Sky West, whatever it's called. I can't remember. Big Sky.
Big Sky,
It's the Big Sky. I mix all the names up. But give me Texas Tech, Red Raiders, too much for the Bobcats.
All right, and I've got another upset here. I've got Davidson over Michigan State. I think Davidson's hot right now. Tom Izzo is just not going to be able to keep up with them.
All right. You get the last game, Duke, CSU.
All right, yeah, I'm going to go with Duke. No surprise upset here in the 2-15 game.
I had 2-15 upset there from my bracket. Coach K going off the way he always deserves, which is losing as a 2 seed. All right, I'll take Alabama and Texas Tech. Give me the Red Raiders. Once again, Alabama might play well one game, but the next game, you don't know what they're going to do. Give me Texas Tech.
And then I'm going to keep rolling with Davidson. I like Davidson. I think that'll be Coach K's last game as the Duke Blue Devils coach.
Wow. The 3-pointing shooting Bobcats. They'll get it done.
All right.
All right. Who do y'all have between Texas Tech and Davidson in the Sweet 16?
Sweet 16 game, I can't stick with Davidson for another round. I'm going to go with the Red Raiders, Texas Tech.
No, I understand.
All right. And we'll pick the Elite 8 matchup we have right here between Gonzaga and Texas Tech. This will be a good game. Texas Tech does have some tournament experience, to say the least, but give me Gonzaga. I think there's going to be too much. Great ball club. You know, one of the weaker 1 seeds, but they're still a good team no matter what. So let's slide down to the East region. We have 1 seed Baylor taking on 16 seed Norfolk State, 8 seed UNC, 9 seed Marquette, 5th seed St. Mary's, 12 seed Indiana University, who won their first 4 game the other night, 4 seed UCLA, and 13 seed Akron. Zach, we'll start with you with Baylor and Norfolk.
I got Baylor in a blowout win.
All right. I agree with that one. I'll take the UNC Marquette game. Marquette, one of the coldest teams in all of college basketball right now. Give me UNC.
And then I'll take St. Mary's over Indiana, over the Blue Blood. I don't know. Just had to battle in the first 4 to get here. I just don't think they'll be able to win another one.
All right, Zach, who do you got between UCLA and Akron?
Yeah, UCLA and Akron. UCLA made a deep run in the Final Four last year, and I got them getting past Akron in the first round to maybe get another trip in.
All right. Once again, we got no upsets in this section of the bracket. I think that's pretty consensus among everybody. I'll take the Baylor-UNC game. Give me Baylor. I think Baylor should be too much for North Carolina.
Yeah, and then I'll take UCLA over St. Mary's. They made, like Zach said, they made a deep run last year. I don't think they go as far this year, but I still think they make probably the Elite Eight. I think that's a safe bet. So I'll take UCLA.
All right, who do you got between Baylor and UCLA?
Baylor and UCLA. If I'm not mistaken, a rematch of last year's Final Four?
That is correct.
All right, well, in this one,
Actually, no, it's not.
No, they were on different
I think
sides.
they played, Baylor played Houston, Gonzaga played UCLA.
Well, I got UCLA anyways.
All right.
Go
Well,
Bruins.
Go Bruins, I guess. We'll slide down to the second half of this bracket. We're going to look at 6-seed Texas taking on ACC champion Virginia Tech. 3-seed Purdue taking on Yale, the Ivy League champs. 7-seed Murray State, of course, the Ohio Valley champions, taking on San Francisco with University of Kentucky, rounding out with St. Paul's. Who do you got?
Yeah, I've got Virginia Tech over Texas. I think Texas is cold right now, and that's never good when you're going into the tournament.
All right, who do you guys have for Purdue and Yale?
I got Purdue. I think they're just going to roll on through Yale.
All right. This is a pretty easy bracket. I don't think there's going to be any upsets. I'm going to go ahead and pick Murray State and Kentucky for these other two. Peacocks are going to get run off the floor against the Wildcats, and Murray State, well, undefeated since they last lost to Auburn. That brings us to Virginia Tech and Purdue in the round of 32, and Murray State taking on Kentucky. Who do you have for that first game?
I'll take Purdue here. I don't think Virginia Tech makes it here under many circumstances, but just that favorable matchup in the first round gets them here, so Purdue.
All right, who do you got from Murray State and Kentucky, Zach?
I got Kentucky. Murray State's a strong team, but I just think that Kentucky's going to overpower them.
I agree as well. I know, Colin, you have a different viewpoint on this one. Talk about it.
Yeah, I see Murray State getting the win here. I think this is the biggest chance for Kentucky to get upset maybe in the entire tournament. I think if they get past Murray State, they're going to go far.
Murray State's definitely a scary team.
You know, best record in the country. They got that for a reason. They've got quality wins. Got quality losses to Auburn.
But you got to keep in mind the last time this Murray State team lost was to Auburn, the only other SEC team they have faced this season. So when we move into the Sweet 16, we have 3-seed Purdue and 2-seed Kentucky. You know, Colin?
I've got Kentucky there, like I said. If they get past Murray State, I think they make a deep run in the tournament.
All right. Then we get Battle of Blue Blood versus Blue Blood in the Elite Eight.
You take this one, Jake.
This is a tough one. It's going to be a close game no matter what, but I think the inside presence of Oscar Tshiebwe is going to be too much for UCLA. So give me the Wildcats and have them going into the Final Four.
Okay.
So we're going to move over to the Midwest bracket. We'll stay there for the bottom half of this for now. We've got 1-seed Kansas, 16-seed Texas Southern, 8-seed San Diego State University, 9-seed Creighton, 5-seed Iowa, and 12-seed Richmond, with 4-seed Providence and 13-seed South Dakota State. So I'll let you choose the first game between Kansas and Texas Southern. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and pick that one because we got
Another
Kansas
1-seed
there.
blowout.
Another 1-seed going away. We'll go with San Diego State and Creighton.
I'll go Creighton.
All right. I think that's a good choice. I think Creighton's one of the hottest teams in the country as well, so I have them moving on easily in the first round.
In a close 8-9 matchup, though.
Give me your 5 to 12 seed upset right here.
Nah, I don't see the upset happening. I see Richmond stole a bid to get into the tournament. I just don't see them get another win. Iowa's strong coming in. I think Iowa's got this.
All right. We got 4-seed Providence taking on 13-seed South Dakota State. Potential for an upset here. South Dakota State has been one of the hotter teams in the country as well.
Mm-hmm.
Providence, on the other hand, started out really strong to start the season, and they have been faltering as of late. Give me South Dakota State with one of the first upsets that we have selected.
It's the high seed Providence has ever had in the tournament.
Yeah, we'll be able to handle the pressure.
Yeah, it's not going to be long that they keep it.
All right, then we've got 5-seed Iowa, 13-seed South Dakota State, and then 1-seed Kansas and 9-seed Creighton in the round of 32. I'll let you choose that first matchup.
Yeah, I've got Kansas here. I think they're just too strong. Creighton's just mid-pack Big East team. I don't think they're going to be able to handle the top of the Big 12.
All right.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to take Iowa in the second game of that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair choice. Iowa, once again, Big Ten school. A lot of power there. Keegan Murray, one of the best players in the country. But I would have chosen Creighton, specifically in your matchup, Colin.
Mm-hmm.
I think Creighton, once again, is one of the hottest teams in the country. I think they could be able to put up a good fight against Kansas. So then we have our Sweet 16 matchup between Kansas and Iowa. Give me the Hawkeyes over the Jayhawks.
I agree with you there.
I think just Keegan Murray's going to be too much for Ashiba from Kansas. Just too much for the Jayhawks to overcome. So we'll slide down to the bottom half of this bracket, the one where Auburn lives, where we will see 6-seed LSU, 11-seed Iowa State, 3-seed Wisconsin, 14-seed Colgate, 7-seed USC, 10-seed Miami, obviously 2-seed Auburn taking on 15-seed Jacksonville State in an all-Alabama matchup down here. We'll start from the top up here and work down. We'll keep Auburn for the last one.
So I've got LSU winning this first game. Even though they don't have Coach Will Wade, I think Iowa State just isn't playing their best basketball right now. And then LSU will just roll over them.
All right, who you got for Wisconsin and Colgate? I know you're a big Colgate guy.
Yeah, I'm a big Colgate guy. It's hard to pick the upset, but I'm going to do it anyways. Give me the Colgate Raiders.
All right, that is probably one of the biggest upsets we will see in this tournament, according to Zach Card. But we will move on to the bottom part of this bracket, where we have a USC taking on Miami. I know you all both have USC moving on, but I have Miami.
All right.
And I got the iPad, so we got Miami going through. All right, who do you have? We'll talk about this game a little bit more. We'll break it down a little bit. Obviously, since we are covering Auburn, we will be there in Greenville for this weekend's matchup. Auburn taking on Jacksonville State. Once again, it is an all-Alabama matchup in Greenville. We have 2-seed Auburn, 15-seed Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State is a very good three-point shooting team. Auburn, on the other hand, has not been very good from three. I expect Jacksonville State to try and crowd the paint a little bit and make Auburn shoot threes, dare them to shoot it, I might say.
Like Texas A&M did in the SEC.
Exactly, just like how Texas A&M played them. Who do y'all have with those kind of thoughts in mind?
Yeah, I have Auburn. Jacksonville State, they didn't win their conference. Bellamere did. They weren't eligible, so Jacksonville State got the bid. I think it's a Mickey Mouse bid. I just think Auburn's going to be too much for them. Too much talent there.
Who do you got, Zach?
I agree. I'm going to go with Auburn as well. I don't think Jacksonville State is anywhere good enough to play in this tournament, so I got Auburn.
I have Auburn as well. Not that Jacksonville State's not good enough to play in this tournament. They obviously they were the top seed in their conference. But since Bellamere, who just recently transitioned to Division I, cannot compete in the NCAA tournament for 4 years, Jacksonville State does get the bid. They are the regular season champions for their conference.
Which I think is a silly rule, by the way.
It is a silly rule, but we won't stick too much on that. We won't talk about the NCAA too much. We have LSU taking on Colgate. Colin.
Yeah, I'll take Colgate here. Why not? I think this is where the coaching catches up to LSU, and just a lot of drama there. I think the talent runs out.
All right, Will Wade lists LSU loses in the round of 32 to 14-seed Colgate. Who do you have in the Auburn versus Miami matchup down here to close out this section of the region?
I got Auburn. Miami's a really well-coached team, but I think Bruce is going to make the right adjustments in the game and put Auburn in a good situation to get onto the Sweet 16.
Yeah, Miami upset Duke earlier in the season, but once again, I think Auburn will be too much for the Hurricanes. Then we have 2-seed Auburn taking on Cinderella story Colgate and the Sweet 16. This is where the Cinderella story comes to an end. The clock strikes midnight. Auburn moves on to the Sweet 16 to take on Iowa, or the Elite 8 to take on Iowa, where we have 2-seed, 5-seed. Talk about it.
I'll let someone else take this one. I don't want to do it.
This is a crazy matchup between two, incredible forwards that can shoot the ball, and Keegan Murray for Iowa and Jabari Smith for Auburn. It's just going to be a bloodbath throughout it. We'll see. I don't even know who could come out on top. I'll hear y'all's.
Once again, this is a star-studded matchup. I think Auburn will be too much for Iowa. Iowa does have Keegan Murray, obviously, like you said, first-team AP All-American. But Auburn has two AP All-Americans themselves, with Jabari Smith on the second team, Walker Kessler on the third team, and the rest of the cast behind him. I have Auburn squeaking out a close win against Iowa.
Fair pick.
All right.
Fair pick.
So we'll have Auburn move on to the Final Four, as it looks like.
Second Final Four run.
Yeah, second Final Four run in as many seasons in the tournament.
Yeah.
So we'll slide up to the South bracket where we have 1-seed Arizona taking on Wright State, who won their matchup last night. Oh, pardon me. And we have 8-seed Seton Hall, 9-seed TCU, 5 seed Houston taking on 12 seed UAB. Once again, I think we're going to highlight this one later on. And then 4 seed Illinois taking on 13 seed Chattanooga. We're going to start with Arizona, Wright State. We all know that Arizona is going to go through on this one. No 16 seed is going to win it this year. No UMBC in this tournament.
Sadly, no huge upsets this year like that.
Well, 14 Colgate's going to the Sweet 16, so
There is a Cinderella there somewhere.
No 16 upsets.
Yeah, so then we have 8 seed Seton Hall and 9 seed TCU. Zach, take that one.
I'm going to go Seton Hall. I think the Big East school is going to be too much for the Big 12 school.
All right, Colin, I'll let you take this 12-5 matchup here.
I think there's always a 12-5 upset. I think this is it for the tournament. I think UAB, they've been playing really hot. They're a great shooting team. They're just going to slightly outshoot Houston.
Conference USA tournament champions right there. Should be a good matchup no matter what. And we have Illinois taking on Chattanooga. Chattanooga, my bad. Give me the Illinois. Coffee Cochran, just one of the best players in the country, has been for the past couple of seasons. That's not going to stop anytime soon. So we got Arizona, Seton Hall, UAB, Illinois. Take the Arizona Seton Hall game.
I think Arizona just rolls through. I think they're too good. Benedict Mathurin is just too good for Seton Hall to handle.
All right, UAB, Illinois.
I don't know. I like UAB here. I don't have a great reason. I just think that they're hot right now and that they will go past this Big Ten school.
I don't know if I can do that, honestly.
I don't love the Big Ten, especially when you're not at the top.
I guess we have UAB moving on to the Sweet 16 to take on 1 seed Arizona. Zach, who you got in this game?
Arizona keeps rolling.
Yep, Arizona.
I don't have UAB here in my bracket.
UAB drops right here for me too, but
this is where it runs out.
Yeah, so we'll have Arizona in the Elite 8. We'll slide to the bottom half of the South region. We have Colorado State taking on Michigan, 3 seed Tennessee, 14 seed Longwood, Ohio State taking on 10 seed Loyola Chicago, Villanova, and Delaware. So who do you have for Colorado State versus Michigan, Zach?
I'll let you take this one.
Take me take this one?
Yeah,
All right.
This one.
Give me Colorado State. Michigan shouldn't be in the tournament. Simple as that.
Yeah, that's fair. Zach wants to talk about this Tennessee Longwood game.
All right,
Yes, I am a big Longwood fan, and it hurts me that they got drawn up against Tennessee because I think Longwood could have been a Cinderella team, but they ran into the Volunteers. I think Tennessee's going to be too much.
All right. Take the Ohio State, Loyola Chicago.
Yeah, I've got Loyola here. Sister Jean. I think everyone's counting out Ohio State, though, and I don't think that's right. I think it's going to be a close game, maybe 1-2 possessions.
All right. And we've got Villanova, Delaware. Give me Villanova. One of the best teams in the Big East, one of the best teams in the country. Easy win for them. Then we've got Colorado State, Tennessee, in our first round matchup of the round of 32. And then Loyola Chicago with Sister Jean taking on Villanova. Who do you got in that game? Go.
I'll go. I've got Villanova over Loyola. I think the magic runs out there. Didn't get them that far, but
The Sister Jean, no Final Four run.
no
Cinderella
Final
story
Four
them.
for Sister Jean.
All right. Who do you got in Tennessee, Colorado State?
I got Tennessee moving on to the Sweet 16.
All right, that gives us probably one of the best matchups in all of the tournament with Tennessee and Villanova facing off in the Sweet 16. Tennessee, one of the hottest teams in the country, just won the SEC regular season tournament or regular conference tournament. I'm sorry, with 2 seed Villanova making a deep run in the Big East. I think they won the Big East as well. Villanova, great ball club. Tennessee, great ball club. This is going to be a coin toss either way. But I've got Villanova upsetting the SEC champions.
Well, not upsetting.
Whatever. Big East, SEC
big matchup,
upset, yeah. Conference upset. We'll
Very
go with
big
that.
game in this
We'll go with that, a conference upset. Which leaves us with a 1 seed, 2 seed matchup from this region in the Elite 8. Colin, I'll let you take this one. Who do you think's moving on?
Yeah, I'll continue our exciting trend. I'll pick the 1 seed, Arizona. I think they're just too strong right now. I think they might be the best team in this tournament. That might not be a crazy thing to say, but I think they'll move
Fair
on.
enough. Fair enough. I agree. I think Arizona's one of the best teams in this tournament. That's also why you see them in the Final Four, which just gives us our Final Four that we have right here, which is 1 seed Arizona taking on 2 seed Auburn, 1 seed Gonzaga taking on 2 seed Kentucky. A lot of 1s and 2s in this.
We got the West Coast teams and the SEC teams.
Yeah, that's what we got going on. A little Big 12, or sorry, Pac-12,
Yeah,
SEC, and West Coast Conference.
elite
So,
conference.
The elite conference in the West Coast out there. Give me your pick between Gonzaga and Kentucky.
I've got Gonzaga here. I think that the experience of Drew Timme will overpower the Wildcats.
All right. Who do you got between Arizona and Auburn?
As much as it hurts me to say, I got to go with Arizona. I don't think Auburn gets to the championship game yet this year.
I agree. I think Auburn, they almost lucked out their way to the Final Four in this bracket. I think their region is very, very easy. Not a lot of teams in that region that can beat them. But Arizona runs into them, and it's just a buzzsaw. Kills the Auburn season right there. Which leaves us Gonzaga and Arizona in the national championship game, which I think would be an intriguing matchup. Arizona, I think, is the best team in the country right now, which is why I have them beating Gonzaga to win the national championship this season. Gonzaga, good season, but not enough, to say the least.
Yeah, I agree. I think Arizona has just shown throughout the whole year consistently that they're the best team in the country.
From top to bottom, one of the best teams from day one of the season to where we are now, which is heading into the tournament, which they should be the number 1 overall seed, but Gonzaga sneaks away with it. So what do you think the score is for this one, Colin? I'll let you pick tiebreaker score.
I think it's close. This is a good game. I think we're seeing 81-78, 3 points.
81-78 in favor of the Arizona Wildcats. That's it right there. Our Eagle Eye TV score prediction and national championship for this year's March Madness bracket. A few upsets along the way, a nice crazy Cinderella story in the form of toothpaste school and Colgate, but we have Arizona winning the national championship. So we'll come back next week. We're going to break down what our picks look like or how they went over the weekend, basically. See how well we're doing and how well we stack up with the rest of the country.